Hi, and welcome to Block Talk, a likely one-time production where we dig deep to help you build up your ideal block collection. Let's get started. This is my collection of blocks. I have them stored in a few different ways, so I thought I'd highlight. Many of these on this cabinet are all European blocks, so they're on a bigger ratio than the standard unit ones you probably saw in elementary school. Many of these come in trays. Some have trays with lids, and then at the bottom, honestly, it's a crapshoot. This is what we've got. Conversely, I've adapted this very cheap shelving unit from the store that we no longer like, and it's got the standard unit blocks, some more European blocks, and they're just stacked in random ways because when you're trying to get excited and you want to open up your imagination, it's a lot harder to go from something that looks all pretty and manicured like these. It's much easier if the blocks are already just kind of mixed up and available for you to play with. This is proven fact. All right, let's talk about some of the blocks here. Bluey is going to help me demonstrate the importance of texture. So this is a raw block. It's completely unfinished. It's not painted. It just has a light oil base to it. These are great. What I like about these is it has a really good grip compared to the teeny tiny blocks you can get at Target that are painted and slippery. So we can see a difference here. We've got Bluey perfectly holding up this wooden block with grip. I don't have any of those teeny tiny painted ones, but I do have a unit block, which happens to be so well sanded, they're very, very slick. Not as fun. Thanks, Bluey. High five! When you're building, you're probably going to want some things with grip. So I highly recommend getting them that are not painted, or if you like the color, purchase them that are dyed but not painted. Then why do you have the slippery ones? Great question, Bingo. Stop interrupting. We have the slippery ones because they're just a really good quality. So on these shelves, these are the unit blocks. Everything is an equal division of itself. Same with the European, but these are a different scale. And they're made of a maple, but they just tend to be really slippery. So I love the quality. I know they're never going to get damaged. Even still, I like kind of the old ones too. So I've gotten these from Melissa and Doug. You can usually get these sets for $20 on Facebook Marketplace. And they've got a little bit more of a rougher texture, which I actually really appreciate. So what sort of blocks should you get as your starter set? There's so many options, and shockingly, this is not all of my blocks, but I wanted to point out some of the key things. This is called the Citadel set. This one's called the Castle set, and this is it in color. But this was my first block set for a solid year, and I loved it. It had a nice combination of straight pieces so I could build a lot of things, plus some interesting, unique features on some of these, some columns, triangles, a nice mixed bag. That worked for me, but if you want to get something a little bit more stable, you can just get something that's straight cubes that build up mathematically. Same thing goes with the unit block sets. If you look at the Melissa and Doug versions, they come with your standard 2x2s, two straight middle columns, your flats. You get some single cubes. You get a few fun shapes in there. And that's more than enough that you need. But there are some really cool add-ons you can do, such as adding gems, such as adding different widths or thicknesses to open up more opportunities. I'm out of breath. I was carrying so many blocks. You can add rainbows. Maybe you're building something and you want to arch two different buildings together. Rainbows are amazing for that. I've also got some rainbow flats. These are wonderful if you're building and you want to have a second level. This gives you a flat surface to create that floor. Lastly, there's some other types of specialty blocks. So here are some of the specialty blocks, and the ones I have are castles. Mine are jewel encrusted because I'm fancy. You're gonna get your towers, your little, I don't know, pew-pews, whatever this is for. These are really fun. This one came with some extra stairs, which I use all the time. They're great. It's a little bit more limited in what you're gonna make of it, but you know, who's to say? You could have a castle for your pirates. You could have a castle for just the dragons. Forget the people. And I'm going to show you my favorite castle item. It's a drawbridge. Oh, it's doing the work for me. Bada boom, bada boom. That's pretty cool. But these are specialty pieces. They tend to cost more money. It's not a great start. The greatest start would be if you're into the unit blocks, you could get a base set for a pretty sufficient play. If you want to look out of those bounds, then typically the European blocks are the ones that come that are colored, and they all fit within each other. So even though this brand is different from that brand, they will line up. Conversely, if you want to see it with the unit blocks, let's see what's comparable. This is a 1x1 cube for the unit, for the European blocks. And this is for American. You know. Anyways, wooden blocks are amazing. The look, the feel, holding them in your hands, there is nothing like this sensory-wise. So I would love to see you guys make some amazing creations. Tag me in them and let me know how it's going.